trust his deck from here, as the old expression goes, though, to pick up some card draw now.
Yeah, and just Definition getting that Excite now down so early is just going to be nice. Again, of course, you want that hero power if you're playing the Discover Hunter. Guess what? Of course you do. It has Discover in it. But even just having the body down against these early rogue pushes is going to be very nice. He can choose whether he wants to sort of get rid of that card in Shouty's hand or whether to just trade down some of this damage. The Phoenix is always something you have to be aware of for Shadow Step targets and potentially proccing at Web Weavers. So we'll have to see what those choices are going to be. But for now, it's going to be that hero power.
It does also give him the option to just throw out a, let's say, mediocre Sylvanas for the sake of using a word, just to be able to sweep all this up. And this, I mean, Sylvanas is a key card in this Hunter in every matchup. In this matchup in particular, it is the GOAT. This is the card that you want in your hand over everything else, because every rogue at some point in the early game is going to make a board that looks a lot like what you just saw there against you, right? Like, that just happens. And Hunter doesn't necessarily have other great tools to be able to tempo swing back against that. So they need to be able to grab the clear with Sylvanas, and it's one of the only real tools in the deck to be able to do that. So massive pickup from Definition. I think you see Xiao Ti's mood has crashed almost immediately here based on that clear.
And for me, though, the MVP of this matchup so far for Definition is Parrot Sanctuary, right? Like, it's turn 3, like 3 mana for Definition, and look at what's on the board, and look at what he's been able to achieve already in this game. And because he already has the Discover Hero power, his hand is still good. It's not like this is any kind of all-in defensive play, right? This is just Definition playing the game. So this is definitely going to be a tough one for Shouty to fight back on. Now, Rogue has the capability to do so, of course, because Rogue can do quite wondrous things when it wants to. But Shouty does have to sort of manage this bit of a disaster opening, to be honest.
Yeah, and as I said, the all-in play on the previous turn, Webweaver getting discarded, plus the prep EMG, was going to have to rely on card draw being picked up. Blood Mage kind of fits the bill, but not the ideal tool that you're going to want. So he's going to need to hit a decent chain of draws here to be able to explode back into the game.
This is interesting because I'd naturally lean to Verisa, but because Sylvanas has been played, you don't really need the +1/+1 in this matchup, or at least at this point in the matchup, I would say. That, like, Definition's so far ahead that, again,